Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's that time again. Another crisp morning here in South Carolina. As you can tell, it's the holiday season. It's about 34 degrees. I'm just speaking quietly because everybody else in the house is still sleeping. It's about 4:30 a.m. We're getting ready to go out, making our coffee. So I'll catch you guys on the water. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I figure I'll take a little time on my way to the water on the way to the spot where I'm going to be fishing, to just talk about a few products I use on every time I come out fishing on a kayak. And number one thing is I always use my Sawyer Products sunscreen. I put that on first every time before I go out, and it works really well. It's made to stay put. Second thing I always use is a PDF. I use the NRS brand. They're very comfortable. I really like them. So you always got to put a PDF on. That's very important. That's your two safety things. Another product I like to use all the time on the kayak is a kayak cushion seat, or a kayak cushion for the seat. It makes it a lot more comfortable on the water when you're out here for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. If you're fishing a tournament, you're going to be out there for a good 10 hours, and you got all those days of practice, etc. So a kayak seat cushion is important. It's makes almost any seat 100 times more comfortable, no matter what brand it is. And of course, somebody has a hot rod. I guess they're taking to a car show today. So let's go get some. So water temp right now is 53 degrees. As you can tell, that it's about 31 degree air temperature. So you got your steam coming off the water this morning. I think we're going to start out with a crankbait again, and the brand I'm using is made by a local guy here. As my line got caught all up. So this little guy is made by Black Dot Customs. I would say it's a shad, smoky shad color, but that's what we're going to start off with. It's a little square bill. It's going to run shallow. We're going to go up in about 3-4 feet of water again to start today. Then I'll probably go to a big worm, and maybe a little wacky rig today too. Let's see how the bite is with the crankbait first to start today. See how aggressive they are. It's a smaller crankbait, maybe about quarter ounce in weight. So I'm not getting as far of a cast with it as if I had a heavier one on, but it's all right. But seems like it runs nice. It's a nice bait. We're giving them a try out. Like I said, it's made by Black Dot Customs. They're here locally in South Carolina to where I live in Somerville. So we'll give them a shot. It's the first time using this bait, so give my honest opinion right now. So far it's running pretty, seems like it's running pretty true. Getting a little bit of a farther cast on it there. And 5.5 feet of water. I feel like this thing's probably gonna run about 2-3 feet deep. So we'll see if it gets down to the right depth. Looks like where I'm at right now is just a bunch of grass. It's definitely cold this morning. It's 31 degrees. My hands are numb right now. I plan on working on getting different mounts for the kayak in due time, but I definitely want to get one of those extra long, extra tall, I guess you could say, pole to support the GoPros. I'm not sure the name right now. I forget what it's called, but I think it's made by Ram Mount or one of them. But for now, I got my chest view, I use the mag mounts, and you know, also got it mounted to my kayak up front here to give us, you know, the view back at me, if you want to see that. But we're slowly working on getting things put together for the channel. You know, it takes dedication, time, and money. But, you know, in the long run, it's going to be worth it to show you guys some content that you guys hopefully will like, you know, learn from. And that's what I'm doing it for. I'm doing it for you guys. You know, and plan on doing giveaways too. We plan on starting a giveaway this week, and we're going to do it every year around the holiday. It's to get kids out, outdoors and go fishing. So we're gonna give away some fishing poles and some shirts from Overslot Outdoors for the kids. I plan on doing it every year, and I probably will do some around another giveaway around Father's Day. Maybe I'll team up with some other guys like Rios, get some sunglasses out to the kids. You know, some polarized sunglasses that float. Got a bird talking to me in the back. But, you know, we plan on doing that too as well. You know, we're using this social media platform to help kids. You know, help our next generation of anglers to get out and go fishing. Just not for you know, to stay inside all the time. We want them to get outdoors. We want them to start their own traditions with family. You know, with family, their father, friends, going fishing together, spending some time outdoors. You know, we have a beautiful country. A lot of things to go, a lot of places to see, a lot of places to go. So that's what our overall game plan is with this channel and all our other social media platforms, is to help you guys and help the youth, help our new anglers get out there and go fishing. So I've been on the water now for probably about, I don't know, 45 minutes. Not much activity. I've been throwing the crankbait still. I don't know, water temperature is 53. It's about 5 degrees cooler from the last time I was out here. So we may be changing over to some soft plastics from Z-Man and Tech Baits. We're gonna switch over now to the Z-Man Mag Fatties. I'm gonna rig this up on a Texas rig style setup with a 5/0 wide gap hook and an 1/8 ounce bullet weight, green pumpkin. And what the cool thing is that this is made by Z-Man right down the street from us in Ladson, South Carolina, which makes it really cool. That's a local place. Even though I'm fishing this worm fast, it's still forcing me to slow down and fish a little slower, which is good because I'm usually a fast fisherman. You know, sometimes you just gotta slow down. So I'm headed back into the shallow end again. The sun's out finally now. You know, hopefully it'll be a little bit warmer back here because we've been on the water now for about an hour and a half and not a bite yet. But, you know, it's early in the day and we'll get some. Just hang in there. Getting little bites here. Definitely had to slow down. Here we go. It's a nice one. Oh, at least it feels nice. Yeah, it's decent size. It's a very light bite, but we caught that on the Z-Man. You know, the Z-Man Mag Fatties. But the crankbait wasn't working this morning, so obviously the water temp being it slowed down, cooled down some, got to change the bite. These look good. Not bad little fish. All right, so we're going to start moving around a little bit. We maintained the same area for about an hour and a half. It only produced one fish, so it's time to move. Very light bite. So they continue to bite the worm. which is a good thing. They're definitely not being that aggressive today. This is like a point in the lake. There's a lot of structure here, a couple downed trees, a lot of trees growing in the water. So being pretty productive over here. I'm on 2 fish now. So we'll fish this area for a little bit more, and then we'll move on. This old downed tree, you can see the root system. That's the whole thing, and the tree fell over and it's sticking up there in the water. So I'm just banging off the back side of that and letting the worm hit the bottom. Letting this sink down. Definitely banging off some roots that are underneath there. Fish on. So I decided to stay committed to the worm, and it's been paying off. Yeah, they've been averaging about the same length and weight, I would say. Nothing super huge, but it's still a nice fish. And I'm probably on my, I don't know, 5th fish on the same worm. The Z-Man is Elastic Tech, or whatever it's called, the 10 times. It's definitely lasting for sure. I was working the Cinco wacky rig earlier today. Had no bites on that. It just seems like they're liking the larger worm today. So we're going to stay committed to the worm today. It's been producing all morning after about 8 o'clock. Right now we're hung up on a tree branch because we're trying to fish close to the structure. We're just going to pedal up here and get the bait unstuck from the branch. Happens to the best of us. Yeah, simple as that. To me, that's another big advantage about kayak fishing. You really don't lose too many lures because you're able to get right up, and I just got hung up again. But you know, you're able to get right up on it and get your bait. So we're here on the back side of the lake. Wind's starting to pick up a bit, so we're just fishing where it's a little calmer right now. And we're gonna go fish that point right over there where you can see the winds blowing the water. We'll hit that point as well. It's about 10 o'clock now in the morning. It's been pretty slow today, nothing crazy. I think we're up to about 5-6 fish. I think I got 3 on film. But you know, definitely a lot slower than last week I was out here. And I think that's due because the water, water temp is down about another 5 degrees. To also help with making our videos, we will be working on getting a second camera on the boat as well. This way I don't have to keep flipping back and forth between, angles with just one camera. Also takes a lot of batteries. These GoPros seem like they go through batteries pretty quick. I keep the setting at a high resolution and keep the stabilization on. I know if you take some of that back off, the batteries will last longer, but I'd rather shoot better quality content than have, not very good looking content. So I did come across one little shallow flat in the back of the lake here. So I'm just switching back to a crankbait, shallow diving square bill, just to see if there's any activity on this flat. The water is about almost 55 degrees, so it's a little warmer than the other side of the lake right now. I still have the Black Dot Customs crankbait tied on. All the baits I'm using today, Z-Man, Tech Baits, and Black Dot Customs. I'm not sponsored by any of these guys. I'm just letting you know what I'm using, what I'm throwing, and what I'm catching on. People always ask you, what did you catch your fish on? Well, I'm letting you guys know as I fish what I'm using. This way you guys are aware, don't have to use any of these products. I'm just letting you know what I use. You can see the amount of structure and how it comes up. It goes from 8 feet to 4 feet. 3 feet. I mean, there's a lot of stuff here. There's some, you know, some more down trees that I'm fishing around right now. I'm gonna stick with the worm for a little bit more over here, and then change positions in my lake. So it's about 10:30 a.m. Bites really slowed down. I've still maintained the same 5-6 fish that I caught. They've all been on the Z-Man worm. So we're gonna head over to, as you can see in the distance there's a little island in the middle of this lake. We're gonna try fishing that, and then we're gonna go back and see if we can go back to the crankbait and maybe some more of the shallower flats on the other side of the lake. So I changed how I rigged this up. I went to like a jig head that has a little, you know, it's articulating, basically, you could say, or it's, you know, loose. And I also went a little heavier to 1/4 ounce, just to get down a little deeper, because it seems like they're holding more towards the bottom right now, and I want to go a little deeper and have a little bit more extra movement on this bait. Sorry about that, folks. We got a fish on, and I changed back to the crankbait because the water's a little shallower over here. Little baby. So they're still actually feeding a little bit on the crankbait, but it seems like the worm's been the most productive today. One more of my favorite products that I like to use when I'm on the water every time, and even just doing anything outdoors, is my Rio sunglasses. What's cool about these is they're lightweight, they're polarized, and they also float. So if you drop them in the water, you don't have to worry about losing them. Just pick them up, grab them, shake them off, put them back on, and you're good to go. So the water's about 2 degrees warmer than it was this morning on this side of the lake. So I changed back to the crankbait. I caught one small baby just now. We're gonna stick with this for a little bit, and then if it doesn't produce anymore, we'll go back to the worm again and finish out the day. Basically like a grass flat back here. There's not much structure, but they tend to still hold around the bottom, so I'm just banging the crankbait off the grass. I changed my retrieve speed to a little bit slower than usual. I caught the one little baby off this, and then we'll continue trying for a little bit, and if nothing happens, we'll go back to the worm. And we'll end our day out. So it's still a pretty subtle bite. I still haven't changed. Nothing really too aggressive. But we'll take it. How you doing there, Mr. Turtle? So to recap the day, I came here with a plethora of crankbaits. I threw for about maybe like an hour and a half, and I caught nothing. So I always have one reel rigged up with a worm, and I started throwing that and started catching. So obviously the crankbait bite, you know, the more aggressive bite is kind of dying down here in the south. So, you know, I think I caught one on a crankbait today, later in the day when the water temperatures warmed up to about 55. They started out about 53. Last week they were about 58. So that 5-degree drop in temperature really changed the characteristics of this lake. I had to slow it down. I had to do some finesse fishing. I had to slow down the worm bite too. You know, I couldn't fish that too aggressive. I had to be a little on the slower end of things. I tried throwing the Cinco wacky rig. That didn't catch nothing, but the 7-inch worm from Z-Man really did the trick today. I was very happy with it. I used the same worm all day, which is pretty cool. So if you like this video, subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell. This way you're notified when a new video is uploaded from us. Until next time, catch you on the water. Figure I'll show you guys how I get off the water, being that there's no boat ramp here. It's pretty much just a steep bank. So I pull up my rudder, pull my fins out, and change over to a paddle. It's a lot easier when it's not windy. Last week it was a little windy. It was a little rough getting out of the kayak last week, but today shouldn't be as bad. This is pretty much where I get out every time and park my truck. If there is a tree, what I do is I tie my rope around it. This way it holds the kayak close to the shore. And it keeps me positioned enough that I can just stand up and then step right onto land. And I still have my kayak in my hand with the rope. So like I said, it's not super easy, but it's not super hard. Maybe I'll dig some, make myself a step here or something eventually. But that's how I get off my kayak when I get off the lake when there's no boat ramp. So then to get the kayak up, I just kind of give it a kick out or a push out. This way I can come down and grab the handle. And I just pull the kayak up. And I get it back to my trailer. Being that this is all pine needles and stuff, it's easy to slide. I just drag it. Load it to the front of the trailer. Come around back. Pick it up. Slide it up. Once the kayak's on the trailer, I just take off the anchor. And I've got these built-in ratchet straps. I tie the kayak down and just remove all the stuff I don't want on it while I'm driving. And that's it. And then it goes right back into my garage.